All right, welcome to this 1cc commentary slash... I wouldn't call it a strategy guide, actually. I was about to say that, but I fucking wouldn't. I'm Harrison from the Lucky and Wild podcast, and I just wanted to do this commentary here because... for a couple of reasons, really. First of all is that this run was mental. Not the run I expected to win the fucking game with, and I'll go into why in a bit. But it was really weird. A lot of strange things happened. I made loads of fucking mistakes. I picked the wrong route by accident, and ended up doing a version of a level I've never done before, and still managed to clinch the run, I think, due to some decisions and tactics I made later on in the run. Now, I don't think that this being a game from 2007, I can add much to the discussion in terms of mechanics and strategy. And in fact, the game took me 40 hours in the end, 40 hours to get the 1cc. And that was mainly because I don't know what you would call it, but like an intuitive type player. I tend to not look things up. I tend to just feel it out and figure stuff out for myself. That's how I tend to enjoy playing. So the mechanics of the game, I didn't really know properly until maybe yesterday when I was doing some runs. And one of the big things was that so you see in the bottom left there's that number, right? Now you can get point scoring items to get that meter up, and then you can, when it gets to 1,000, you can use that to hyper, right? Now all I was doing was using the hyper to cancel certain patterns on bosses I was finding tricky. Now, what I realise is you can get the multiplier for your score up quite massively if you use the hyper during the actual levels, right? Because you're collecting as many point scoring items as you can. These things you can see I'm collecting from the tree now, right? You can get more of those if you use your hypers during the levels, something I didn't know because I was fucking saving it for the bosses, which is kind of dumb. Anyway, the point is that, like, I wasn't playing for score. What I was doing was I was just playing purely for survival and kind of ignoring score beyond just getting it to save up a hyper for bosses. Now here you can see I use my first hyper, and the point items are just fucking rolling in, right? And then below the number you can see there's that extra number. Now that's the multiplier for your score, I think. Like I said, I don't tend to look things up, but I think that's the way it works. What that means is, I didn't realise, again until yesterday, that there were extends in this game, which means, you know, getting essentially an extra life. Didn't realise that was a thing. I knew there were recovery items, but I didn't know you could get extra lives. I'd literally been playing this since fucking 2007, and I didn't have a fucking clue. I guess because I've mainly played it casually. So now I knew that fact, I've gotten to the last boss like several times and realised that even if I get there without being hit once, or I get there with full life, like 3 life, I can't do it. The boss is way too fucking hard for me, and I couldn't learn the patterns really well enough. Mainly, or I mean, this isn't helped by the fact that there is no sort of like just boss practice mode in the game, which is kind of fucking annoying, so I had to keep repeating the last level over and over and over again just to practice the last boss. Died to the first fucking hit. So what I theorised, it had never been tested, but what I theorised was I could get to the last boss if I had 4 life, which I now know is a thing that I could do. If I had 4 life, I could realistically take enough hits and save enough bombs to be able to destroy the last boss. Now see, this is a bit here where I'd usually save the hyper to get rid of these rocks really quickly, and then I just practiced it a bit, and I was like, actually you don't need that at all, do you? But used it during the level, and now my score's higher and I'm getting closer to getting the extra life, which you need score to do so. So kind of the survival mechanics are built into the scoring, which is kind of cool in my opinion. And so more or less on this run, what I'm doing is using hyper whenever I have it, like in the middle of a level, to try and get my score up, and that's sort of like the strategy I'm going for. Now here's what happened. I selected Port Town when I would usually do Lake Shore at this point, right? And that was an accident. It's because I was absent-mindedly mashing the buttons, because I thought this isn't going to be the run. Basically, I just sat down for 15 minutes to do a bit of practice, right? And at this point, I was just like, well, this isn't the route I usually take. I mean, probably this practice isn't going to be worthwhile, because I'm now doing an easier version of the level I usually do on the level 3 difficulty. But I'm just like, fuck it. I've got 15 minutes. I'm gonna just try it and see what this level's like on level 2, and do everything in a weird order I've never done before. And actually, there's a lot of good opportunities for scoring on this level. You can see I hyper right at the start, and I'm racking up point scoring items like a mad cunt. Not only that, but it's also like kind of a fun level to play on level 2, and on level 3 it's really easy as well, which is kind of why I save it to the end of the game, because it's like, or the end sort of parts of the game, because it's an easy level 3. So I don't know what's in store for me from this point onwards. I'm like shitting myself, but you can see the multiplier's way high at this point, and I'm getting mad scores. So I'm just like, fuck it, I'll try this. Maybe I've discovered a route that is better than the one I'm currently using, and I'm having a nice time. So I don't think this is going to be the run, but what I'm going to do is just sit down and just try and enjoy it. You know what I mean? You know, when you kind of sit down and you're just like, I might learn a bit more. I'm not going to complete the game, but I might learn a bit more. And this is one of the things that surprised me here was this boss. When you play it on level 3, it has 3 phases, and I thought that was coming here as well. So I defeat the first phase. I go into the top right corner here to get it to go to the top in case I need to dodge the bullet patterns, but managed to kill him straight away. And at this point I actually went over to the left side of the screen because I was like thinking that the third phase was coming where he moves back to the right, but it never comes. And so it's a way easier version of the boss fight than level 3, obviously, but I hate the third phase of that boss, so I was kind of like, cool. And next is Swamp Wastes, which I usually play on level 2 anyway, but I was kind of like, do I not? But what that means is I have to do level 3 Volcano, which I usually do anyway, and I'm really used to. So I'm just like, well, this is good. I've got all my life. Now onto, I did level 2 Port Town, but now I'm onto a level I usually do at level 2 anyway, so this should be a piece of cake, right? And yeah, basically on this level, all I'm doing is just trying to rack up hyper again to try and get more points. I can't remember actually where you get the extend. I never memorized it, but it's something like, it's either 500 million or 50 million. I can't remember. The numbers get too long on the score there to read after a certain point. Yeah, so this one I'm pretty used to, as you can no doubt tell. I've done this level 2 level so many fucking times. Get the hyper, smash it in. And the idea is that what I'm doing is, there are certain parts maybe where I could bomb to make my life easier, but I'm saving the bombs for level 3 Volcano, because that boss, I fucking suck at it basically, and I need to bomb to get through it. So I'm saving them, and I've kind of got to the point where all of these parts, all of these levels, like, I can just do fairly reliably. And here, see that card down there? That's where one of the secret life up items is. I don't need it, but if you collect it when you got full life, you get the points. So that's kind of why I did that. Yes, and then we're going to go on to the boss in a second here. As you can see, so what is it? I don't know. Anyway, I think it's 50 million to get the extend here, or life up, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, this boss is another one that typically I would use the hyper on, because there's a attack phase that she has that kind of scared the shit out of me and I was always bad at. And I would show the one that it is. This part here I'm switching to my quick shot just to dodge these, and then it's this attack pattern here. I would always hyper, because when you hyper, the fucking, I don't know, roses that Rosa fires are huge, and you can kind of get rid of these pots much easier. And usually, there we go. So I take an environmental hit because I bumped into her here, which was kind of dumb. Usually, I don't go over the top of her like I did there, but because I wasn't clearing out the pots as quickly as I'd liked, it sort of got a bit overwhelming, and then, of course, I took the half-a-life hit. But what I'm thinking is, there's another life up that you can get on the Volcano level, so what I'm doing is I'm like, cool, it doesn't matter, I've lost half a life, it doesn't matter, I can just get it back when we get to Volcano, right? As long as I can play Lake Shore. Is this one Lake Shore? Yeah, if I can play this one, alright. Now this is level 3 Lake Shore, something which I've never done, because usually I pick the level 2 one, I pick it as my third level in the game, right? So I've never done this before, and I was expecting something wildly different, but actually, the level 3 version the strategy pretty much remains the same. But you can see at certain points while I'm doing this that I actually start fucking like panicking, right? But Hyper's gone on, I'm getting a nice amount of points, and hopefully getting closer towards that extra life. But yeah, the level 3 isn't that different, I feel. I don't know, maybe it is, but I didn't feel like it was much harder. And there we go. Got the extra life there, right? And what's crazy about that is I usually get it right at the beginning of the last stage or on Volcano. So for some reason, and again, I don't look up the mechanics really, so for some reason that I am not aware of, I'm scoring way better than I ever have on this run, and it must be down to the route I accidentally picked, right? Maybe it's a better route for scoring. So I've got the extra life earlier than I ever have, right? And it was at this point I kind of thought to myself, okay, I know you can get one extra life, but surely if you score enough, there must be another one available. Now keep that in mind for later on. So this is the cow boss, right? Now, I've only ever done this on level 2, so I didn't know what to expect. And I know that it was going to be different, and there's probably going to be another phase in here. And this is the bit where I would usually hyper to bullet cancel as well, but yeah, because I just hate that pattern. I hate fucking dodging it, and I've had bad luck with it like a lot of times. So, but there's people out there probably going, this is easy. So this is the point where it would usually die, and I've never seen this pattern in my life before. The fucking cube shooting at me, and I was like, this isn't that hard. This is kind of easy. So this is another kind of easy level 3, I guess. I don't know. And I'm not saying that to brag. I mean, I kind of suck, and you will see that later. But yeah, kind of easy. Not a terrible level 3. And this route, I rate it, honestly. I think it's better than the other one I was choosing, which was Forest Graveyard, Lakeshore, Swamp, Port Town, Volcano. So just, I don't know, scored better on this one. Enjoyed it. Now we're on to level 3 Volcano, which is the level I would usually pick as the last one anyway, so I'm used to this one too. But at this point, I'm like thinking to myself, the run is going well, right? And that is the last thing you want to be thinking. Like, this is a run I sat down not expecting to fucking clear the game, and then suddenly I'm thinking, hang on a minute, this is going well. So that's when you start to play badly, and you'll see that in a second. Now, bear in mind, my strategy was that I need 4 full life bars to get past the final boss, right? So that's all I'm thinking. I'm thinking, don't get hit, and like, I've got most of this memorized, but suddenly you start second guessing shit. Do you know what I mean? So I'll get the extra life, the life recovery thing here, and also yeah, I start sort of second guessing myself, and I'm sort of like thinking that certain patterns are going to come up, certain enemies are going to come up, and I forget the order, and I'm starting to think, oh, this is going well, and as a result I start playing a little bit worse than I usually do, which is kind of annoying. Like there, I would usually drop my sub bullets down from the upper level, but I didn't this time, and here I almost get destroyed by some of the rocks and some of the bullets here, but I just about managed to cinch it, and yeah, I'm shitting myself at this point. I've got the resources I need to finish the game. I just need to not fuck it up at this point. And as many people might know, this part here, between here and the last and the boss of this level, is fucking annoying. But I seem to be doing alright, and I'm pretty happy about it at this point. So just need to get rid of these cunts down here, and we're done. On to the boss. Now, as I mentioned before, this boss gives me a lot of jip. Like, there's this third phase where it puts up some fucking walls, and I hate it. I hate the first bit as well, with the fucking rocks that are falling down. I just find it difficult to dodge, and maybe just haven't practiced it enough. It's probably easy once you know what's going on. But for me, I was like, and for me, I was just kind of like, well, I hate this boss, and I'm shitting myself at this point, because I've got everything I need. So I'm already playing ever so slightly worse by virtue of the fact that I'm thinking this might be a winning run. But then also, I get onto this boss as well that always gives me a lot of trouble. But like I said, I always bomb here. Ended up using 3 instead of 2 because I was so scared of losing the extra fucking life that I got. Dumb, very stupid. I would usually only use 2 on this boss, but I was just, I really wanted to fucking get it, you know what I mean? So there we go, third bomb happens. And there we go. Take a hit, and then At this point, my fucking brain switches, right? I'm like, okay, well, now I don't have the resources to get to the fucking last... Well, I can get to the last boss, but this isn't going to be it. This isn't the one. This isn't the fucking run. Because I took a stupid hit on a bit where... See, I didn't think it was going to come out with that laser attack. There, I thought it was over. And you know, like, when you think something's over and you just relax? That's what happened there. And I got hit by the fucking bullet. And I was devastated. I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, fuck. I thought this was going to be... I didn't think it was going to be the one. Then I did. Now I don't. So at this point, my thinking changed, right? I just went, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into Hades Castle. I'm going to do the last fucking level. And I don't know if there is a possibility to get another extend, an extra life. I don't know if it's a possibility. But what we're going to do is play this last level for score, just as an experiment, not to try and complete the game, but just play this last level just for score. Maybe playing less for survival, taking more risks, and just seeing if we can get enough points to get another extend. Because then we're back in business. Then I can actually complete the game. But I didn't think I was gonna complete it. But what I did think was I'll just experiment. I'll see if it's possible. And so this is why you'll see some of the decisions I make here, like why I did some of the stuff I did. And I'll explain my process here too. This part is, there's not much to say about it really. I've got this part memorised. This is like the easiest part of the level anyway. But all I'm trying to do at this point is to build up hyper, and also one of the things to do that makes it easier, I probably should have said this way earlier, but is to get the items before they drop to the ground, I think that's the way it works. They give you more points if you collect them before they go to the ground. So you can see I'm kind of getting close to enemies, and this is something I wasn't doing up until like 3 runs ago, right? I was just staying as far away as I could and like trying just to survive and not really giving a fuck about points. But at this point I'm like, right, let's see if we can get shitloads of points. Right, get the hyper. So now let's try and get as many points as we can. See if that fucking elusive second extend is possible. Bear in mind, I had no idea if it was. See this bit here? I usually would bomb on it, but I decided not to because I'm like, this isn't going to be the run. I don't give a fuck. And the reason I bomb on this is because the patterns are annoying and I hate them, and I suck at them. It was like, out of all of the entire last level, that small bit there was the biggest fucking sticking point where I'll always get hit. I mean, just call it what you want. I'm a scrub. I know. Just for clarity though, I have also beaten Mushihime-sama and Daijojo. And I wouldn't say that I found those games easier, but in a certain sense, I've been playing this on and off since 2007, before I was even big into shmups. And a big part of learning to complete this game was relearning, readjusting from bad habits I built up over decades of casually playing this game, basically. So that's why it's taken me 40 hours to finish this. I don't even know if that's good. I don't know if it's good, I don't know if it's bad, but there we go. Right, so there's this next bit that's coming up. I think it is. No. Oh, it's in a bit, but there's a bit that really annoys me. See those enemies on the ground there that spin their spears? It's not those ones, but the one I just killed. Hate those patterns too, so I try to get rid of those as quickly as possible. And these big fuckers as well. The reason being is because they do this attack where they chuck a bunch of orbs to the ground and they explode into other bullets which rise up, and that attack pattern is annoying to dodge and kind of like, I don't know, it can put a real spanner in the works. So you've got to try and kill them as quickly as you fucking can. So memorising when they come onto the screen is a good fucking idea. A big part of this level though is like ground enemies, which you don't see that many, or at least not that many that are a threat on prior levels of the game. And so a lot of it is like shooting left, then shooting right. I said it wrong there, but you know what I mean. Is to try and get rid of them quickly because they're only coming on like a horizontal plane, with the exception of these enemies on the stairs, of course. So these are the ones that I'm talking about, right? Oh no, it isn't. It's the next one. But these big ogre fellas that do the pattern that hits the ground, fucking annoying. Now these are the ones, the spear guys. I've literally memorised where they are because if they get their attacks off, it is really annoying. It's like one of these patterns that goes in all directions. Okay, hyper here. I was thinking I could get rid of him before he does the annoying attack pattern, and I did, which is pretty great. Well chuffed for that. Now, we're going on to the second phase of the level here. The big thing about this part is that, like, there's these big enemies that you need to take down quickly, or they would do sort of like a secondary attack pattern that can be slightly more difficult to dodge. But what you're trying to do, and there we go. See what just happened? I got the extra fucking extend, right? So suddenly, something that was an experiment, I'm like, oh shit, again. I'm thinking, oh shit, this could be the run. But I'm nervous. I start playing badly, and you'll see in some of my dodging in a bit. But anyway, yes, these big enemies, you want to get rid of them as quickly as possible, because otherwise they're going to do big attack patterns. And you want to quickly switch over and over again to your, like, sub-shot to get rid of the dancers, whilst trying to get back to your focus shot for whenever the big enemies are on screen. You might see it here. No, I killed him quickly, but yeah. Now, when the dancers start coming from all sides, that's where it starts to get fucky, and I've got hit by this like so many times, and I've got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, my anus was going mental at this point. I was terrified. I was like, oh, I keep getting hit by these things. It looks piss easy when you see it on the screen now, but when you're fucking panicking, and you don't know where they're going to come from, and you haven't memorized it, it gets fucking hard. Now, we hit the last boss here, and I don't have enough to do a hyper, and usually I would hyper to cancel one of his bullet patterns, right? And I don't have it. And I know that, but you, again, I don't read about the mechanics, but I know you can hyper when you're not at 1,000, but I don't know if it powers up your shot so much. I don't know. But then for some reason, when I start the fight, it goes up to 1,000. I have no idea why. I don't know why that happened. Perhaps somebody in the comments could tell me. I have no idea. Right, so, big sort of thing here is that if you beat Jitterbug without bombing, you will get double 2 lives up, right? And I figured I might as well just fucking bomb the cunt, because what's the worst that's going to happen? I mean, I don't get the 2 life ups, but I'm now going to go into, 3 bombs. 3 bombs on Jitterbug. I mean, there are people at home, like, screaming at their TVs, computers right now. But I've got 4 lives, right? So I can take 1 hit, and I've got 9 bombs with which to defeat Tyranno Satan, right? But as you will no doubt see, Tyranno Satan, he has a lot of hit points. I couldn't just bomb him to death with 9 bombs. Some of it is going to need to be my own damage. And bear in mind, I'm just going to be honest with you here. This is the 3rd time I've ever fought this boss. The 3rd time. Even in my practicing, I've barely managed to get to him, like, at all. I mean, usually I would just hit him and then get one-shotted. But I do remember this pattern, and I kind of like it. I think it's cool. But anyway, so I don't have any bombs on this life at the moment. So what I'm trying to do is just dodge. And this bit, right, is mad. But I don't know. I've never seen this pattern before, and I don't know how I managed to dodge. And I'm going to tell you, it's just, I'll just say this. It was luck. It was fucking luck. I'm telling you that for free. I'm not a skilled player. Don't know how I managed to get through quite as much of this as I did. But look at that. I mean, I impressed myself. Then took a hit by that one. So I noticed that little pattern, I was amongst it and I got hit. So when I see it come up again, I'm just chucking a bomb down. Now that I've been hit, I've got 3 bombs. So I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just using them. I'm using them. End of story. One of the mechanics I never spoke about was the lock-on shot. Each character has it. I don't use it once throughout the entire fucking run, except for here, right? Where I think, because I can't shoot upwards, so I'm thinking I'll use the lock-on. That's why I managed to get fucking hit, because I'm trying to use a shot I've never used before on the final boss of the game. But I've lost a bit of health there, so what that means is I've got extra bombs. So I just start bombing, right? The only thing I have to do is not get hit. So what I did there is I get hit, and I lost 2 bombs. Now I'm thinking, fuck, I can't do this. There's no way I can do this. I've only got 2 bombs left. He's got that amount of HP. I'm worried, right? I'm worried. So I'm just going to chuck him out there, see what fucking happens, right? And you see his HP's not going down quite as fast as I would want it to, and I'm in danger here because I've never fought this pattern before in my life, but bazinga. Sorry for saying bazinga, but I managed to do it. Now watch. At this point, my character goes still. Usually I'm jerking around my stick, but in this, I actually put my hands up to my face and I'm like, I can't believe I did it. Not because it was a particularly hard game, but because that was the fucking run, do you know what I mean? And only after, I don't know, is 40 hours good? I don't know. It's 40 hours of playing it kind of casually. But Other games like Diogo, for example, took me way fucking longer than that to get used to and finish. But I thought that I was nowhere near to the level I need to be to finish this game, and ended up doing it on a run where everything basically sort of went a bit wrong. Not everything, but things, like critical things went kind of wrong. And a run where I discovered that a second extend was possible, and I had no fucking idea. So, I don't know, like, gotta be honest with you, I'm pretty pleased with this. Although, I'm not entirely sure I fucking deserved it, to tell you the truth. But, but I did it. See, at this point, it's been about it has been 19 years since I read the story of the game. I don't know what any of this means. I just thought staying with my friends kind of sounded like a good idea. I don't even know who Mr. Dior is, but he sounds great. Anyway, yeah, hopefully you like this video. I might do some more of these when I complete other ones. Thing is, I play most of the shmups I play on MAME, and I don't know if there's good replay functionality in that. If somebody can point me towards like a version of MAME that does have good replay functionality, that would be great. It's kind of why I chose to do this one as well, because it's inbuilt, and I'm not a fucking tech wizard here. I'm just a guy, you know what I mean? So I was thinking next I might do Mushihime-sama, but maybe Maniac mode, because that looks like a lot of fun, and I've finished it on original before. Or Dodonpachi Resurrection. I wanted to do there's a Ketsui arrange mode in that looks really fucking fun. Maybe comment below and see if there's one that you would like me to do. I don't know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let's just have a listen to a bit of music here, because this is kind of a good tune. Oh, yeah, I forgot to say, by the way, if you've come to this video just from this video, I do run a podcast where we occasionally speak about shmups. It's mainly me talking about it, to be honest. I'm the only one that plays them, but yeah, we do fighting games, shmups, other games, but mainly fighting games and shmups. It's called Lucky and Wild Podcast. All of the episodes are available on this channel. And you can listen to it on all good podcast platforms as well. So if you like this, do consider going and give it a listen, because you might like that too. I recently spoke about Esperade, so there we go. Alright, well, thank you for watching. Good bike.